Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jade. So in this video, I'm going to be reading Summer in the City by Alex Astor. I've never read a book by Alex Astor before, so this is going to be my introduction to her as an author. I'm really excited for this book. It seems like it's just going to be a cute, like springy summer read. So I've already started it. I will say that right off the bat, her writing is a bit weird. Something about it is just, I can't quite like put my finger on it, but it is a bit odd to me. There will be like a sentence where that I'll read and I'm like, that's such a weird way to put it, or like just stuff like that, if that makes sense. So I will say right off the bat, the writing is going to take a second for me to get used to. I also don't know much about this book. I am kind of going in blind. I've heard a lot about it though because it's a new release. It just released not that long ago, and I picked up this pretty Barnes and Noble copy just the other day, and look at the taxis. They are literally so cute, and look at that. So this is just a really pretty edition with the sprayed edges and everything. But I will be continuing without the dust jacket, so this is what it looks like. If you see me reading something like this, just know it is Summer in the City. I do think I want to say his name being Parker, I feel like that does not fit him at all. When I found out this man's name is Parker, I was like, what? He's a rich, most eligible bachelor billionaire, and his name is Parker. That's just so like normal. No offense to any Parkers out there, but I don't know. I feel like his name doesn't fit him at all. So we are now like 60 pages in. What looks like the plot is going to be is that our main character, her name is, what is it? Our main character, Elle, she is a screenwriter, and she's supposed to write this screenplay set in New York. So she moves from LA to NYC temporarily. She moves back to New York City just for a little bit, just to finish the screenplay, and then she's gonna move back to LA. For whatever reason, she despises the city. We don't know why yet. But at the moment, she has writer's block. She ends up by chance reconnecting with this guy that she had a horrible encounter with 2 years prior. His name is Parker, and he is like this billionaire tech guy, and he needs to have like a date for the summer to go with him to all of these like tech events and investment type things, just to ensure that he has good press so that the sale of his company will go through. Elle again does not like this man because of their encounter 2 years before present day. Parker seems like he does not remember. He didn't recognize Elle. He does not mention that night. And so what ends up happening is that they are going to fake date for the summer. Parker's going to help Elle. He's going to take her to all these places where her movie is going to be set in so that she can help get out of her writer's block. And Elle is going to help Parker by being his date for the rest of the summer. So that's typically what the book is about. And so far, again, I'm about 60 pages in, and I'm having a little fun. It's kind of cute. It seems like it's gonna do its job of being like a fun spring summery romance. We're about 100 pages into Summer in the City, and we're starting to see like more emotional connection between our characters. But we start seeing them like rely on each other more, thinking about them more. And I say them, I mean our main character. We only get one point of view, and it's through Elle's point of view. And so we're seeing her like open up more to Parker and like trusting him more and kind of relying on him a bit more. Whereas in the beginning she really wouldn't, because she's such an independent character. We know that about her. We know that she doesn't really care for like wanting the man or needing the man. She was taught at a young age by her mom to be independent, to like have her own money, to not rely on anybody, to just kind of be safe within herself, because I don't know, that's just how they were taught. Her dad left while she was young, and her mom was a single mom, and so that's just what she taught her daughters being Elle and her younger sister. I can't remember her name. I think I think Elle calls her Callie, but so about 100 pages in so far, and I'm really enjoying it. It's kind of cute. I'm definitely over halfway through. Probably have like 30% left. But I just feel like, our main character, our FMC, needs therapy. This girl needs to see a therapist. Again, I don't know if I mentioned this. They're replacing our roof right now, so if you hear stuff, it's the it's the guys on the roof. Okay, we're almost done with the book. We have about, I think I have like 3 chapters left. So we're in the home stretch, and I figured I would just very quickly update that. Okay, so I ended up finishing Summer in the City just a few hours ago. It is still the same day as it was whenever I gave that last update. But I just figured we can go ahead and talk about it because I wanted to sit on my thoughts a little bit because the ending was a little frustrating. I just wanted to give myself a chance to process it and give the book a fair rating. Okay, so I do have my iPad with me because I've typed up some talking points and because I don't want to miss anything. So as I already said in the beginning of the video, the writing style was a bit weird. I feel like there were some sentences that I would read and it would literally make me pause and think, like, that is such a weird way to put it. And I just feel like that was the theme throughout the whole book. Even I ended up getting used to it, but I feel like very often I would be like, that's such a weird, like the sentence structure was just a little weird. And so I will say that, but I did end up getting used to it, but it was still in the back of my mind. So as I said earlier in the video also, I liked how we were starting to see Elle's mindset, not overall mindset, we will talk about that in a second, but Elle's mindset toward Parker start to change a little bit in terms of her feelings and her thoughts about him, because she started to realize, well, like, oh, maybe he isn't like who I thought he was. Maybe that first time we met was just like a fluke or something. And so we very early on we started seeing her mindset in that way change towards him. So as for Elle's overall mindset, she was so annoying because just of the certain beliefs that she had, like the fact that she just had to be financially independent. She didn't need a man because she could do everything on her own. She doesn't need anybody else. That was so annoying because it sucked to read, like, whenever Parker would buy her something, because it very much seemed like Parker's love language was like, what is it, gift giving, and she did not like that. Every time he would spend money on her for any little thing or any big thing, because he would also buy her like $1 million purchase, she would go just crazy and be like, no, I told you I don't want this, like, I can do it myself, I don't need you for that, I have my own money, and if I don't have my own money, I'm gonna work hard to get it. And oh my gosh, and so that part just got so annoying. And she would even tell him, like, we would never work, like, if only you weren't a billionaire. And he'd be like, okay, like, I'm gonna give up my money. And she'd be like, no. And he's like, I'll donate the whole thing to charity. And she's like, no. That was so annoying, just her back and forth. She was her own worst enemy. I will say, though, something that I did relate towards, I related to the fact that she kind of got lost in her anonymity. I kind of related to this because I feel like with starting this YouTube channel, I want to, like, not only grow more confident in myself and be kind of like put myself out there and like get out of my comfort zone, and also not only to make friends but to kind of just grow also as a person and as a reader, because I just would always stay home a lot. I don't like going out. I don't like hanging out anywhere outside. I don't like being around a lot of people, and I feel like this is a way to kind of put myself out there also, and also to open up myself to a lot of different experiences and meet new people. And so I related to the fact that when she started getting out of her anonymity and her comfort zone, she kind of like looked around and was like, I don't even know who I am anymore. Like, I don't know what I like. I don't know what I enjoy. I don't know the last time I had fun. And so I really related to her on that level. So in line with that, so there's this quote that I came across in the book that kind of made me stop and realize that. And it's from page 180, and it reads, I've built a life outside of my writing, outside my apartment. It happened suddenly without warning. One day I woke up and there was a little city built around me. I'm no longer a deserted island. Because that was kind of a whole like analogy that her and her friend had, that she was like a deserted island. Like no one was allowed to go there. She was always by herself. She always kind of pushed people away. And so I kind of related to that. And when I read that quote, I was like, okay, maybe she did have a little bit of a character growth, and I do relate to her on that point. I also thought it was interesting to read, even though I don't think this was the intention, but to kind of dive a little deeper on my end with her relationship with her mother. I feel like it was a little complex because as someone on the outside, we can realize and notice and acknowledge the fact that maybe her relationship with her mother wasn't, not, I don't want to say all that great, but not very healthy. And there is this scene in the book where her sister even talks about, you know, Elle's relationship with their mom, and how, you know, her sister, her name's Kali, how Kali was even treated a bit differently than Elle was, even though Elle was the older sister and Kali was the younger one. I love that that scene was in there because I also was diving a little bit deeper into that and thinking about more about it, because Elle really like internalized her mother's struggles and her mother's feelings to the point where it just really did become unhealthy, and it hindered her in her relationship with Parker and even in life in general. It impacted her outlook on life so much that it was keeping her from doing the things that she wanted to do, or doing the things she wanted to do for the right reasons. On that note, I have two quotes that were kind of back to back with each other that I read, and I was like, oh my gosh, that, like, yeah, that hits. So there's this one where it reads, "My mom told me some generations are for working so the next can dream." My parents didn't go to college. They did not have the opportunity to, but they have made sure that me and my sisters did have the opportunity to go to college with it being fully paid for. And that just reminded me of that Barbie quote at the end of the movie where she says, us mothers stand still so that our daughters can see how far they've come. And I remember like hearing that quote in the movie theater, and I was watching it with my sister and just being like, I want to hug my mom. I want to thank her for everything that she's done and all the opportunities that she sacrificed so that we could be where we are. And that this quote here is, my mom told me some generations are for working so the next can dream. That hit along the same lines as the Barbie quote, because of everything that my parents and my mother have sacrificed so that we can be where we are. So again, as for the overall relationship, which again is just the main plot of the story is very character driven. Even though we do like have two problems at hand, our characters are what drive the story. And I feel like overall, I just think that Elle did not deserve Parker at the end of the day. Personally, if I was Parker, I would not have stayed. I would have left and looked for someone that actually deserved my love and affections. But for whatever reason, he did. And I also feel like we don't really know what made Parker fall in love, like be enamored with Elle in the beginning. We know that no, I'm not going to spoil it, but we do read something about like that subject. But I feel like overall, we saw Elle fall in love with Parker, but it felt like just automatically Parker was in love with Elle. So I do feel like there's that, but it's also the fact that he was just so patient with her, and you could tell he really liked her, and he just wanted to like show his affections, even if it was through his money. And I feel like Elle was just always so mean to him and so misunderstanding, because also he would buy her something and it'd be something little or it would be something big, like I said, but she'd be like, no, I want to do this. I want to show people that I'm successful. I want to show people I have my own money. He's like, okay, girl, like, sorry. And she would just like blow it so out of proportion. Again, this girl needed therapy. She needed therapy. And it's like, poor you. Like, first world problems. Like, Kim, there are people that are dying out here. Even though I do understand where she was coming from, it was very much annoying. So don't think I completely missed Elle's like internalized problems. I really did understand it. It for a romance book, it was a little annoying. It was. So I think overall, even though I feel like there were some parts that I really did enjoy, which was reading about Parker and Elle going on their little excursions. And I also was really excited to read whenever Elle would help Parker with his dilemma. I feel like those parts were so fun, but just always being in Elle's head was not fun because she was just, I feel like she was just not a fun character. I did not like being stuck with her. I wish it was like a dual POV. I would have killed to read Parker's point of view and see what he was thinking and all the stuff that was happening behind the scenes with his part of the book. So I thought that would have been pretty fun, but the ending is what just took me out of it. I could not stand it, and I probably could have predicted it. I feel like some part of me did predict it because it just was so in line with who Elle was as a character, but so even though I did enjoy it, it was a bit frustrating, and I thought about it, and I think I'm gonna give this book 3.5 stars. So overall, thank you for watching this video. It was my first YouTube video, which is really exciting, very nerve-wracking, a little scary, but that's okay. We're gonna quit being a deserted island like how Elle was in the book. Yeah, if you liked it, you know what to do, all that YouTube stuff, and I hopefully will see you in the next one.